Welcome, this is Like It's 1985, and this is my review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager class Fireburst Optimus Prime. And this is actually my first Optimus Prime, or I should say first Voyager class Optimus Prime in my collection. And I do like the vehicle mode because it does highlight the orange translucent plastic used here on the hood section. And it actually is a honeycomb pattern, and then there's some paint on top of that, and it's supposed to give the effect, I guess, of flame and charring, hence the name for this particular figure, Fireburst Optimus Prime. Here you can see more of that orange translucent plastic in the honeycomb shape it's in. And of course back here on the weapon you do have some more of that same plastic. So looking at the weapon, you can see it does peg into the trailer hitch of the vehicle mode here. And there are a few mech tech ports. You can plug the weapon in the side here like that for this type of effect. And I just noticed this, but this might be a port back here too as well. Yep. You can plug it in back there for what it's worth. And of course you can take other mech tech weapons and plug them in those mech tech ports. But looking at the actual vehicle mode here, you can see the tops of the smokestacks do articulate, made of a softer plastic, of course. And vehicle mode looks pretty good. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and transform this guy into the robot mode. It does come packaged in robot mode. I just, for the sake of the review, I'm going to start off in vehicle mode here. First thing you can do is take the fuel tanks here, untab those from the side. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top of the cab here. There's a series of 4 tabs and slots. I'm going to untab them here, and you can actually see the tabs right here in here and on the other side as well. You want to take the legs here at the hips and rotate these down like that. Get everything out of the way there. These will go out to the side here like that. Just get them out of the way for now. Go ahead and split the legs here, and you can bring out the feet. I do like how they form. You can see it comes with this little slot here and rotates down. And when you have this section right here separates, you want to rotate this up at an angle, and it's going to wrap around. There's a hinge there. It's going to wrap around the leg and plug in to that slot right there, or that peg hole. So that should line up there. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. And wrap around the leg, and it should peg into place there. Kind of like the transformation of the legs there, like that. Okay, so next up, we'll go ahead and take care of this section here. This actually gets rotated down and covers up the back of the leg, and therefore it actually covers up the hole there, which is I was kind of wondering about there for a second there. But yeah, you can see how it goes there. So there are the legs all taken care of. And back here, these panels here get rotated back like this, and I believe these go up like that and out to the side and down. And I think actually, there we go, that looks better. They're on a couple different joints there, you can see. And you can take out the head here. There's a panel right here that goes down, rotate up the head, and the panel goes back, and it actually pegs into a hole back there, which is kind of nice. Keeps the head stable there. And now all we have to do is the arms. And the only difficult part of transforming this is the arms going from, robot to vehicle. So let me go ahead and show you that in detail. So first thing I'm going to do, pull down the grill here, pull forward this top section right here, and that unpegs from those 2 holes in his chest, as you can see there. This slides all the way forward, and then you want to separate the arms. And this is how the arm should look like when you're transforming from the robot into vehicle. So they'll just come together like this, but you need to make sure that they're all together like this. And if you look there, there's actually a peg that goes into that hole there. So you need to make sure that goes in that hole, otherwise you'll have it looking like there's a gap here. So to make sure to have that actual peg into the hole, otherwise there'll be sort of a gap here when you transform it back into vehicle mode. So anyways, just unfold the arms in this case, which is pretty straightforward here, going from the vehicle to the robot mode. And you can see this panel here is going to rotate up. It's on a joint. This goes all the way up like that, revealing his chest. There's actually a tab on each side and a slot. That's going to slot into place and securely secure the arms onto the torso. And the hands are like this. All you do is bring them out to that position. And you'll notice there's the wheels here. You want to make sure these are rotated around like that. And here is Fireburst Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And one thing right away to notice is how small the chest is, or the torso area is, in comparison to his legs. And that's one thing people have pointed out as being a flaw on this figure, is the way that I think the chest or the torso area is too small and the legs are just about right. I think Optimus Prime always had these long, tall legs. So that's not really the problem in my opinion. I think it's the actual torso that's too small. But I guess they couldn't do anything about that. So there is that to actually be aware of in terms of the overall design. And let's go ahead and go over articulation real quick. Head, of course, as usual, is on a ball joint. You have shoulder articulation all the way around. It's not really a ball joint per se, but you can see what the shoulder can do. Swivel of the bicep. And because of the way it transforms, it actually has 2 points of articulation at the elbow. The actual hands are on ball joints, as you can see there. You do have rotation at the torso, or at the waist. And the legs, of course, wide range of articulation, nothing blocking them from moving out to the side and back and forth. Swivel at the hip, bend at the knee, and that is pretty much what you have for articulation for this figure. So let's take a look at the size comparison. Let me go ahead and bring in Dark of the Moon Voyager class Megatron, and there they are together. Stand this guy up a little straighter here. So you get the idea here, size comparison there. Alright, so weapon. So here is the MechTech weapon. You notice here it does have this articulation here. To activate the feature, you push forward on this, or pull back as it were, and out comes the axe. So you can, of course, have the figure hold the weapon in his hand as a gun, like this. Oops. There we go. For this type of effect right there, which is not bad. It's actually a decent looking gun in my opinion. And that's a tight joint there, or tight peg hole. And then you can convert it to the axe mode, pulling back here. And you notice there's actually a notch right here. You can move the notch, or move the handle into the notch there, and it locks that weapon in place. And so you have the axe mode here. Oops. You will also notice that does come off, but you also notice that this handle actually folds in place for the axe mode as well. So So there you go. I kind of like the axe mode. Seems pretty cool. It shows off the orange translucent plastic really nicely. It's got a nice design there, as you can see. So yeah, it's good to have a Prime, Voyager Prime from the Dark of the Moon line. Like I said, this is my first Voyager Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. So I will finally have him being able to be placed next to Megatron here on my shelf. But there are problems with the figure. As I said before, the proportions as far as the relation of the size of the torso compared to the legs is way off, I think. More than it should be. But other than that, it's not a bad figure. Whoops. Get this out of the way here. Sorry about that. So there you go. Transformers, Dark of the Moon, Voyager class, Fireburst, Optimus Prime. Thanks for watching.